Good day, Crime Talk aficionados. This is Scott Reisch. Crystal Kenneys, the Idaho nurse who pled guilty to tampering in the Patrick Frazee case, has a friend doing some talking. There's a violent murder in New York where a pregnant woman was found stabbed to death, and with the new changes in the law, only one person will be charged with murder. And a missing woman is found gagged and bound in a suitcase. And we have the dumb criminal of the week. Let's talk about it. Good day, Crime Talk aficionados. This is Scott Reisch from Crime Talk. Thank you for joining us here today. We appreciate you tuning in and listening. If you like the channel, please subscribe. If you want to be notified, hit that little bell. If you'd like to leave a comment, we would appreciate that as well. The first thing on the docket today is the Idaho nurse believed Patrick Frazee would kill her if she didn't help cover up Kelsey Berreth's murder. And how do we learn this information? Well, the nurse, Miss Kenney, has a friend, and apparently her friend decided it would be a good idea to go talk to the CBS News and let them know what she has confided with her.
Do you think Patrick's a murderer?
Yes, I do. I think he's a very dangerous person.
Michelle Stein says her close friend Crystal Lee confided in her about her role in covering up Kelsey Berreth's death.
So Miss Kenney's friend is a woman by the name of Michelle Stein, and she took it upon herself. I guess we'll have to wonder whether Miss Kenney or her attorneys put her friend up to this, or if she's just trying to be a good friend. She's not doing Miss Kenney any favors as it relates to this particular case, because part of her plea agreement was that she was not going to speak with anyone regarding this facts of this case, basically only the DA. So she already has confided in one individual regarding what she knew, so to speak. Now, Kenney, who's 32, pled guilty last Friday to tampering with evidence. Basically, it was the Berreth's cell phone, and it was kind of helping delay and hindrance of this. Apparently, Miss Kenney said that she already knew that Frazee had murdered Berreth, and who was last seen on Thanksgiving Day. And as part of her plea agreement, she stated that she had taken the phone back to Idaho, knowing that it would impair the investigation.
She had very, very good reasoning for whatever it is she may or may not have done.
What was the reasoning?
I can't really comment completely, but fear.
Well, what's the significance of this statement? Well, first of all, we already have now a prior inconsistent statement, okay? Because anything that she now says to anyone, including her friends that she's confided with and the defense can learn about it, they can use that to cross-examine her, okay? Now, what does the friend say? She felt that she had to do it, otherwise that her life was ultimately in danger. Well, the judge, when it comes to sentencing or anywhere along the line, may ask Miss Kenney, if you didn't think you did anything wrong, why'd you plead guilty to something you didn't do? There is a defense called duress. If you have to do something to avoid a greater harm or injury, you can do that, but then you have to immediately go to the police. Now, my understanding is Miss Kenney did not go to the police. They went to talk to her once they found out about the cell phone in there and ultimately in the Idaho area, and ultimately led to her. So it's an inconsistent statement as to what she said in court, because she said that she knowingly took the phone in basically ways of hindrance. She didn't say, oh, I was scared to death. Now, maybe her friend's trying to help her out. Maybe that's truly what she felt. But if she did that, she probably should have told her attorney, because there is a defense to that. Now, also the other question is maybe what she told her friend was not the truth. That's also a very high possibility, because when the news broke and she was somehow now a public figure as it related to this, she was trying to make herself probably not look bad. And what's the best way to not look bad? I had to do it. I was scared. I was terrified. so terrified that she didn't go to the police. So that'll be interesting to watch as things develop here in the next couple of weeks in that matter. Obviously, we have the preliminary hearing coming up shortly. We'll see what happens as well. But let's talk about the next thing on the docket. So there is a pregnant woman. She was pregnant, but now she's unfortunately deceased, by the name of Jennifer Irigoyen. Now, she was found basically stabbed to death outside of her apartment. Apparently, her ex-boyfriend had dragged her down the stairs, and people had heard screaming. The boyfriend then got a knife and then repeatedly stabbed her in the abdomen and also killing her unborn child. And according to the district attorney there, the defendant, who goes by the name of Anthony Hobson, who was arraigned and for the charge of second-degree murder. I'm not sure why it wouldn't be first-degree murder, but who knows exactly what charging decisions they're going to make. But so Anthony Hobson is charged with second-degree murder, but he's only going to be charged with the death of Miss Irigoyen and not her child, because the law that was recently passed in New York, Miss Irigoyen's child would have been a few weeks away of basically being protected in that, but the law that was passed last week or 2 weeks ago, I guess, in New York, the Reproductive Health Act, now makes it so that her unborn child is not a child or a person, because the child could not live outside of the womb. Not trying to get political, just laying out the facts. It's somewhat shocking. The next thing on the docket is another very bizarre, violent case, and that is in regards to a missing young woman by the name of Valerie Reyes. She was 24 years old, and she was last seen by friends, family, near her apartment on January 29th of this year. And she apparently had made her concerns known to her mother, that she was actually quite concerned that someone was going to kill her. And apparently she didn't elaborate, but she was very concerned about it, to the point where she was telling people that she was concerned about it. So Miss Reyes had apparently suffered from anxiety and depression, and so no one gave a whole lot of credence to her concerns or inquired too much about whether she was truly in fear of danger. Her mother said that she was. And then after Miss Reyes had been missing for a while, just late last week, a suitcase was found in a part of Greenwich, Connecticut. And inside that bag, about 15 to 20 feet from the shoulder of the road, in a nice little quiet neighborhood, apparently, they found a woman who was had her hands and feet bound and was obviously deceased and stuffed into a suitcase, which obviously is terrifying for anyone who knows her, anyone who lives in the area. Just the thought, if you're concerned about anybody doing anything to you, I mean, can you imagine what a grisly way to be discovered, or the people that actually find it? It's absolutely it's terrifying. It just makes you wonder. And yes, I know I'm a criminal defense lawyer. Yes, I represent these cases, but some days you really just have to wonder, what in the hell are people doing out there? I don't know. And I know it's always gone on, but it just doesn't seem like it's getting any better. I don't know. Anything is getting worse. So let me take a sip here from the official Crime Talk mug. Should we show this side too? Look at that. Let's move on to the dumb criminal of the week. There is a gentleman in Virginia who thought that it would be a good idea to take his video projector that hooks up to your laptop and project it upon his garage door as a movie screen. Doesn't seem like a bad idea, right? Put the kids out there, watch it, maybe they'll all come over. Well, apparently the problem with this was that this individual, Mr. Smallwood, thought that it would be okay to put pornographic news. And the Newport News Police Department apparently showed up and probably asked him to take that down. Apparently, Mr. Smallwood refused to sign the summons, which ultimately led to his arrest as well as additional charges for resisting. My guess is there was some sort of adult beverage or some other illegal substance affecting one's good judgment. Just saying there. Because I don't think normal people would think that would be a good idea to go play pornography on your front driveway. But who knows? Maybe there's a First Amendment challenge there. Why can't you be allowed to do that? So he's definitely in the running for the dumb criminal of the week. And now we have another woman has a little domestic dispute with her boyfriend by the name of, and her name is Jennifer Broussard. 48, got into a little spat with her husband, or boyfriend, I should say, and threw a pork chop, a frozen pork chop at him, causing a cut under his eye. Certainly not condoning domestic violence. Disputes happen. But yes, certainly when you're going to have an argument, people have arguments, okay? But you don't need to get physical, and you certainly don't need to pull out the frozen pork chop. Not good. Now, then we have a gentleman in Arizona who is apparently on probation from 2 states, Montana and Wyoming. He has 2 prior felonies, but he gets transferred down to Arizona under the Interstate Compact. And this Mr. Joshua Hilliard is his name. He thought that it would maybe be a good idea to volunteer in a youth mentoring outreach program. And being the young youth counselor trying to help the young troubled youths of America find their way and not to find a life of crime such as him, he then finds a nice 16-year-old young youth, and what does he do? Starts sending romantic text messages, aka dick pics. Now, what have we talked about here? What do the police have to prove with any crime? We've talked about this, right? Identity, right? They have to prove that it was, in fact, the defendant who committed the crime, not someone looked like him, not someone using his identity, right? Well, this individual, this Mr. Hilliard, thought it was a good idea to put a tattoo on his privates, and he put fun size, tattooed the words fun size on his penis, and he sent that picture. So how many people, I mean, this is better than DNA, is it not? How many people have that tattooed on their genitals? And that it's pretty good for identification. I'm pretty sure they're going to be able to say, yeah, that's him. Not only that, he did confess as well, but what in the world are you thinking? Okay. Even the fact that you sent it, but 2, why would you get a tattoo there? Okay. I've never met Mr. Hilliard, but I had a client once, had tattoos there, but he had flames apparently all the way around it. I don't know. Just doesn't make any sense to me. So the final contestant for the stupid criminal of the week is a Florida man. And I don't know why they always seem to come from Florida, but Peter Emery, 56, is on videotape entering into a woman's house that he knows and stealing her medication from a black sealed box. And he thought that he was stealing hydrocodone, and it turned out it was laxatives. And apparently after he took some and figured out maybe it wasn't the best thing for it since he didn't get the reaction. So we had some good contestants this week, but I think it's definitely has to go to Joshua Hilliard, the man who sent juveniles pictures of his penis where he had tattooed the words fun size on it. Yes, he is the dumb criminal of the week. Thank you for watching. For the quick update, we'll have more news, more updates on cases. Let me know if there's some cases that you would like us to follow, we will do that. It's just been absolutely crazy the last couple of weeks. So doing these, it's been late at night and kind of the wee hours of the morning. Tonight, I think, is the earliest one we've been able to do. And then it gets even crazier. I have to go out of town for a hearing in federal court in South Carolina, then fly back halfway across the country and start a trial next week that'll probably go most of the week, take a week off, and then start what's set for a 3-week trial on a very interesting case, but we'll be able to talk about it after the trial. So thank you for watching Crime Talk. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and hit that little bell, and you'll get notifications of when we have our new episode or when we're going to go live, which we're going to try to do here shortly as well. Have a great day. Thanks for watching Crime Talk.